much better. Okay. Fuck off. Beautiful. Oh, should be live now. I'm hoping. Hey. Hey. Hey Steve, how are you, bud? We're always chasing Mulloway, Steve. It's one of the standards on this channel. How are you, mate? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Jesus, who's this big fat bugger in the screen? Oh, it's me. Rightio. Oi. Okay, everyone. Okay. So what I might do is tonight's setup, all right, is the same as our setup as always. So what we've got is a little 3-inch grub, okay? We've super glued the grub to the head of the little jig. It's a very lightweight jig. We've got a little loop there rather than a snap swivel. Got about 40 centimetres of line to our other swivel and our braid. So just a standard rig for fishing, you know. All right, let's see if there's any fish out here, eh? Make a nice change. Oh, how was your Christmas and New Year, Steve? Good? Tide's coming in, hopefully. Oh, there's someone fishing over the other side as well. So, welcome, mate. Get this sorted. Oh, didn't you go to Europe? I thought you were meant to go to Poland to catch up with the in-laws. Oh, I know what I've forgotten to do. Hang on. This moon hasn't come up yet, Steve, so we're not going to be able to use the silhouette of the moon for our soft plastics, mate, which makes it a bit tough. Let me just check that I've got everything right. Oh. I'm sorry to hear that, mate. Oh, Steve, is he all right? Did they get the guy that hit him with the car? That's terrible. That's better. Just give me a second, mate. I just got to sort something out here. Just give me a second, mate. I'll just sort this out. All right, just give me a second, mate. I just got to sort something out here. Oh, it's in here. Hang on, bud. Give the line time to soak in. I'm sorry to hear that, Steve. That's terrible, bud. That is terrible, mate. That's the thing, isn't it? Oh, when I first went to Perth, I was driving up the road that the Churchlands High School is on. And as I went up the hill, what's it called? Is it Churchlands Avenue? And this young lady on a bicycle looked the wrong way and cut across the road and got hit by a car. Terrible. Oh, mate, sorry to hear that, mate. That's not good. You don't want to hear of any family being hurt or unwell, mate. And how do you recover from that back to normal, you know? Come on. Yeah, this year would be nice, phone. You know, come on, mate. That's better. All right, just give me a second. All right. Oh, it is, mate, especially when you've been hit by a car. Yeah, a little bit of a difference there, mate. And impact injuries like that are terrible, mate, because you get crushed. Oh, really? Yeah, great, just what you need, mate. Now you'll have all the shark crew out there trying to be heroes, trying to catch them, Steve. You know? Trying to use the excuse that they're, you know, going to eat people. That's terrible. You know, there normally is this time of year, Steve. Scarborough's got 3 shark alleys out from it, Steve. So with Scarborough, you've got to be very careful, mate. You've got like the first channel, then you've got the second channel, then the third channel, and there's some quite big sharks around Scarborough, mate. I know people that would go out at night and fish for them off Scarborough back in the 80s, Steve, and 90s. Just looking forward to a stress-free stream, mate. Don't want any trouble, don't want anything at all. Just want to chill out, cast a few soft plastics around and see what we can get, you know. Yeah, but the thing is, mate, unfortunately, you've got a lot of people that'll just target sharks for views, right? And it's just terrible. I'm sick of it. You know, a lot of them will just get the big deep sea rod and reels, hunk out a huge lump of fish at, you know, the piers as they call them in the States, and they'll fight Goliath, groper and all sorts of stuff, mate. That's not content. That's just feeding your ego, you know? So, yeah. Yeah, I don't really have time for that sort of thing, mate. You know, to me, that's not fishing at all. So, and you wait and see. Someone will head down to the beach, right? And then they'll, someone will head down the beach, and catch a shark straight onto social media, you know. Oh dear. But anyway, that's what floats their boat, that's what float their... Yeah. Oh yeah, mate. Yeah, Scarborough, Steve. Mate, I've seen plenty of fins at Scarborough in between people swimming, you know. Oh yeah, it's terrible, you know. So but unfortunately, mate, that's how it's all going nowadays, Steve, you know. I just like to go fishing for the challenge. So with that challenge, we're using soft plastic lures at night, mate. We're not using a bait. We're relying on the silhouette of the moon and a few other factors with the fishing to get us by, you know. So yeah, is what it is, mate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast out my little ZX35 and make some noise. Hey there, Sniper, how are you, bud? Oh, really? Nice one. Do they know that tiger sharks are protected, Steve? Did he get, like, busted for that or what? A guy in Albany killed a couple of juvenile great whites, mate, and he got, like, absolutely busted for it. And rightfully so too, you know. That's probably the same guy that's been going down to Rockingham, you know. I'm just going to cast this out, right? And make a bit of noise. I'll have 10 casts with this. Fort Sniper, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, well, and don't forget to like the stream, people. Right, that lets YouTube know that we're doing good things. I wonder if there's a little tailor out here that you don't... Oh, sometimes you get big tailor at night. I actually hooked quite a good tailor here the other day. That's why I've come back. Usually mulloway will follow the tailor schools, so when the tailor go through and shred bait fish, they'll... Oh, that was a hit. No. No, come on. Dreaming, that felt like a hit. So what I'll do is show you the difference here, right? So with this here, right? Okay, this is a ZX35 from Eco Gear, and this is a little soft plastic. So what we've got here is we've got a couple of differences, okay? So we've got a different profile. This one's a metal lure that can cast quite a long way even in windy conditions. This one here, because it's so lightweight and the weight's in the head, okay, it can cause issues when casting into wind and that sort of stuff, but it has a different action. So this will vibrate as it's going along, okay, when you retrieve it, and this will flutter more. So you've got to give it like the wounded bait fish type of retrieve, okay? So both of them have their advantages. Same old story, you know. There's no university that you go to for fishing, you just got to have a go, don't you? Right. One of the biggest mulloway I've ever seen was at a southwest beach in WA. A guy had a little 6-foot rod. He's cast the bait straight up in the air. It's landed behind the first set of breakers and a big mulloway's taken and swum off with it. That was about a 40-pound fish. with your blade lures. Fort Sniper, these are the Eco Gear ZX35 lures from Australia. There are a few copies around. They're about $25 a lure, depending on where you get them from. Hang on, let me just see if I can get this zoomed in. There we go. All right, so there, check that out. So this is a ZX35. This is a ZX35 Eco Gear lure. What it's designed to do is it's designed to mimic a little prawn or crustacean scurrying along the bottom. That's why you have these hooks attached with Kevlar thread, so they think it's the actual feelers of the prawn, okay? Very good for tailor, and you catch a lot of whiting on these. I've seen some very big whiting caught on these lures, especially in the hotter summer months, because they're coming in along the bottom where a lot of your fish tend to hang out. 90% of your fish get caught that far from the bottom, people. So in most fishing situations, right? So yeah, 90% of your fish get caught from the shore in the bottom, 3 foot of water. So that's where you need to be fishing, okay? Especially in a hot climate like Australia. The bull sharks haven't quite started firing up here yet, Steve. Water's not quite there in the temperature. Oh, don't reel that through. Oh, where'd that go? Behind me, okay. Ah, it's a little knot in the braid. Oh, yeah, they're a blade lure. Pretty good like that. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways. Yeah, something like that, Steve. So there's a couple of different ways you can fish these blade lures, okay? The first way is the traditional way, which is just like this. So you just rod tip at about 45 degrees and wind, and what'll happen is that'll just vibrate along the bottom of the waterway, just above the bottom, looking like a little prawn or crustacean trying to, all right, and my personal method, the way I like to fish these, okay, is like this. They usually sink to the bottom pretty quickly. So what you do, wind up the slack till you feel the weight, and then bump, bump, retrieve on the way down, keeping the tension on your line, bump, bump, retrieve on the way down, feeling that tension in your line all the time. Keep your fishing rod horizontal, bump, bump, wind it down. That way, if a fish hits, right, you're always ready to set the hook, okay? And because these are so heavy, these will sit on the bottom that you're fishing and then lay to one side, okay? And then when they go to take off, they'll actually straighten up, and then you can retrieve them. It's a very lifelike action, actually. All right, there we go. The other good thing is too, if you count the air time, I'm not going to do a big back cast, but listen, what? Oh, that's braid. Why are you doing that, bud? What's wrong with this braid? Why is it doing that? That's why, hang on. Beautiful. Maybe I didn't wash it quick enough after the last time that I used it. Okay. Let's do that again. So if you count the air time, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful, it stopped. Okay. Hey Roscoe, how are you, mate? 2 pints. G'day, bud. How are you, mate? Oh, did you hear that? That sounded like a pop out there. That's interesting. That means something just got taken off the surface. So, rightio, one more cast. Good to see you, Roscoe. Hope you're well, mate. Oh. Oh, the northwest blowfish, as we call them here, mate. Hey, yeah, they'll hit. Apparently, those big northwest blowfish, they can actually Oh, well, that was a shock. I've never ever heard of mulloway hitting these lures, people. They must be out there. So they are attracted to noise. That's something that I never knew beforehand. Whoa. Oh, don't worry, Roscoe. I've got some content planned for Twitch, bud. All right, I've got some content planned for Twitch, bud. Okay, so now we've made the noise. Right, let's just leave that there. Okay. And look, people, here's a tip for your fishing. What I've done is this is our landing net, right? Okay. So with our landing net, what I've done is I've put the fisheries measure and regulations on the handle of the landing net, see? So it starts here and comes down here. So when you've got the fish, you can grab it out of the landing net, put it straight onto the handle of the landing net, and then put it straight back in the water, okay? Whew. Just gonna leave that there. I'm hoping we're gonna need that landing net in a minute, fam. Now, that's a good drag. Right. No one is more shocked than me after that, people. Could this be the night? I would love nothing more for our community than to hook and land a 1 metre long mulloway on soft plastics, people. It would just make my year. It would make, you know, our streaming too, because a lot of people use bait. We don't use bait. We take the hard road. What happened there? Why is that not working? What happened here, bud? Let's have a look. Yeah, it was Steve. Thanks to the 9 people that have tuned in. Thank you very, very much. Right, what I'm going to do is, see this soft plastic here? Right, just check this out. I'm just going to get that off there. What? Oh, really? Come on, computer. Right. So with this soft plastic, what you've got to do is when you do your soft plastics, right, always push your tail up so it's covering that point on your hook there. Right, so just check that out. So always push your soft plastic tail up so it's covering the point of the hook. And then that way, right, when the fish hits the hook, it pushes the soft plastic out the way and then it sets the hook. Oh, Norton, please stop trying to sell me your stuff, mate. We're not interested. All right. Okay, remember, soft plastics, slow it down. I've got 20-pound fluorocarbon on this, people, so if we do hook a fish, we should be okay. I'm going to wade into the water a bit, hang on. Get the old feet wet, eh? If you see a fin, tell me. Let's do that. Poof. I'm really shocked that we had that hit. Oh, hang on, I'm going to stop now. I'm going to stop. That was something having a look at the soft plastic. I wouldn't be surprised if the tail of the soft plastic's been bitten off. Let's have a look. Nice. There we go. Oh, do they? Unicron, hello bud, welcome to the stream, mate. How are you? Oh, did you? Yeah, it was a dad joke, but that's right, Steve. We still think you're awesome, mate. How's this, right? Yesterday I set up the kayak to go out on the stream, and then the wind had picked up and not forecast and tried to blow the bimini over, and then last night we had a big thunderstorm. I can't believe this weather. Nice. Back we go. So, good to see you, mate. What's JB up to? Unicron, is he doing much, bud? Or is he, you need to curb his enthusiasm, mate. Right, that wind's gone southeasterly, which is good because it's blowing straight over our shoulder. All right, we need a little bit more of this to come in. I think I might have cast the tail off that, people. So, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Joseph, you never asked location on a stream, mate. I'm in Western Australia, bud. That's about the extent of our location, okay, mate? Nicely done. Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's a good way to do it, mate. Whew. He certainly was, Stephen. I'll give you one tip, people, when you're casting. When you're casting, always aim for where you're trying to cast. I call it point and shoot casting, right? So if I'm going to aim this, I'm going to be holding everything perpendicular. So when you cast, you've got to remember, all your fishing rods are built on a backbone here. That's the strongest point of the rod, right? So when you cast, don't turn your hand left or right. If you're a right-hander like me, you've always got to keep it straight, okay? Rest the butt of the fishing rod in your forearm here, right? And that way when you cast, everything's straight, okay? See? That's gone exactly where I was aiming for, which is what you're trying to achieve, okay? All right. Well, Unicron, with the fishing that we do here in Australia, mate, we don't have the fishing that you have in the States. So we don't have the largemouth bass or the smallmouth bass or anything like that. This is actually a saltwater river, Unicron. This is all salt. All the trees that you see here are saltwater tolerant. Okay, so yeah, this is a saltwater river. It's not fresh. You can't drink this. It even smells salty, you know. So what we're fishing for here is we're not fishing for freshwater species. We're actually fishing for saltwater species. So what you need to do, I'm only using a very light jig head. I want to get maximum casting distance in this river to get it out there, you know, because if you don't get it out to the spot, you won't get the fish, you know what I mean? And what I'm doing here is I'm doing a bit of a pendulum cast. So with my pendulum cast, what I'm doing is I'm increasing the line speed of my soft plastic, then maximizing the line speed of my soft plastics at the point of the release on the cast. And that way I just get maximum distance from it, you know, so. All right, you got to remember too, we've had about what, I don't know, 20 casts, okay? Yeah, so when you've had about 20 casts, Always run your finger down your leader, because you'll never be able to see if there's any blemishes in your leader. Because you've got to remember, with fishing, one of the golden rules, the fish of a lifetime is your next cast away, okay? All right. Right, I've actually put that through the guides this time, which is always I find beneficial. So what we've got here is this is really quite balanced and specialised gear. So we have 10-pound braid, which is like cotton that you sew with, and 20-pound fluorocarbon, which is ultra thin as well. So what's happening is I've got a 132-ounce jig head, which weighs nothing. It's less than 2.5 grams, right? So to be able to cast that in the first place, you've got to have quite balanced tackle, you know what I mean? So a bit of line speed will help you. Okay, and what I'm doing is, don't click over your bail arm with the handle of the reel, because tackle companies love you to do that, because you'll use the bail arm clip. Right, more mosquitoes. Oh. Now hang on. Okay, I think that moon's just starting to come up over here, people, but we've got a bushfire and the wind's blowing from the bushfire, so we can't see any stars tonight. So, let's go in. We actually got that much line speed into our cast there. The tail of the soft plastic overstretched and it was flapping like a sail from a ship in the wind when we were casting in them. That's when you know you're sort of casting at your maximum distance. There it is again. Okay, so we heard the ripple in the tail of the soft plastics. That's as far as we can cast, you know. So yeah, nice try, foot sniper. Oh, there's plenty of possums around here, people, so years ago when I was live streaming, I had a family of possums come up and sit down on the bank and watching what I was doing. It was hilarious. They were just sitting there doing their thing, feeding. I wasn't troubling them, they weren't troubling me. In the water, well mate, one thing that a lot of people don't know, with mulloway, if you shine on their eyes in the water, they're actually red. So I've had plenty of times where I've been going through southwest rivers and just gone bammo with the spotlight and a big mulloway swum off. So Thanks to the 10 people that tuned in. Please don't forget to like the stream, everyone. It just lets YouTube know that we've got people watching and we're doing things. It certainly does. Unicron, one valuable lesson in life I learnt fishing was patience, bud. So, yeah, I mean, I know this lure colour works, right? I've caught plenty of mulloway on it. And with the conditions, with the clarity of the water and the moonlight that we've got, so what it is, one of the best things you've got to do, people, always identify the bait fish that are in the waterway you're fishing. And then what you do is you match the soft plastics to the bait fish. So we have a lot of yellowfin whiting in this river, so we use a lot of soft plastics that have a bit of gold speckle through the soft plastic, and it imitates the whiting. So what I'm doing is when I use this soft plastic, right, and I'm retrieving it, I lift it and I lift it, and then it flutters down and it sort of flickers in the moonlight, much like a distressed fish. So not only are fish, you know, scent predators, and they pick up vibrations in their lateral line, they're also sight predators too, so, you know. Oops, that's not good. Now, that's the second time I've heard a commotion on the surface out there, people. So what's the time? It's 11:15. I think in about another 15 minutes, if there's a fish out here, that's when we're going to get a hit, okay? You can usually tell with these. Rightio. Now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to change tactics. Yeah, that's the old one. Yeah, Sniper, we've got an online fishing shop too, mate. So we've just teamed up with an Australia-wide company. We're going to make an announcement next week. But yeah, we've got a heap of products that are coming in at the moment that we're testing, right? So whiting are a very stable and staple food source of a lot of fish. Hang on. I just saw, just out here, I just saw a swirl on the surface, people. That's interesting. There was no fin either. That could be a mulloway pushing bait fish to the surface. One of the best baits in any river in the southwest or northwest is a live whiting in a river. You'll get mulloway, sharks. Up north you'll get mangrove jacks, anything, you know, so everything eats whiting. One of the best baits is you take the fillet off a whiting and use the carcass, and all the juices and all the entrails and that put a scent out in the water, and I've caught lots of really good fish on whiting carcasses, you know. All right, so what I've done in our first, 30, 40 casts we've done or whatever, I've basically just made a lot of noise. So the fish know that we're here and they know that there's, items feeding in the water. So what we're going to do now, right, is we're going to start fishing a lot slower. Right, and with that fishing a lot slower, we're going to see if we can hook one, okay? So with soft plastics, people, slow it down, right? The next cast we'll start fishing slower. May as well do it now, I guess. Yeah, there's actually some, through the silhouette of the moon, I can actually see some surface disturbance over there. So there's no blowhole, so it's not a dolphin. So I'm hoping they're starting to bite, you know. It's fairly shallow for about the first 10 metres, but I'm casting into about a 4 metre hole out here. So when the rest of the river around it is between, 20 centimetres and a metre for a good part of it, a lot of your bigger fish will hang out in these deeper backwaters, especially in the hotter months, because they can actually regulate their temperature a lot easier in the deeper water. So what'll happen is usually the shallows tend to cook, but a lot of the saltwater fish are dependent on temperature. So with the larger fish though, you got to remember fish can't regulate their temperature, so they need to move in and out of water, right, to regulate that. So okay. All right. Just going to turn that over now and just leave it for about a minute. Hey Charlie, how are you, mate? How'd you go in that game? Did you enjoy seeing City kick you know who? Thanks to the 12 people that have tuned in. We're going to be doing a lot more live streams on YouTube now, right? And on the other platform, but I've got a few big plans coming out, people, so more about that later. That's better. Come on. This tide's still coming in. We need to wait for it to stop and change, and then that's when we'll start getting fish. That was not a very good cast, everyone. Ah, police sirens. Another event in the Bogan Olympics, everyone. Okay, so see what's happened here? Oh, really, Ben? I don't know, mate. It's funny you mentioned that. I've caught the northwest blowfish as far south as Bustleton and Dunsborough. So what happens is, in Western Australia, Ben, the Lewin Current makes its way down the coast, and a lot of the larger fish have been following that as they come down in the northern species. So for example, when I was working in the tackle trade in Perth in the 90s, someone caught a red emperor at Quinns Rocks out in the boat, and that's actually been happening for a long time, bud. It's just that some people have been just mentioning it now. So, you know, it's the same old story, mate. But we've caught golden trevally at a spot between Denmark and Augusta before out in the boat, and that was a tropical species. So they were actually golden trevally with the black spot and everything. And that's because they were following the Lewin Current down, you know? So, right, now let me just have a look here at something. Right. The Real Jet Pilot, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. Thank you very, very much for popping in. Look, what we're going to do, famo, is we're going to try something different here. Okay, sorry to block up the screen like that. So basically what's happened, oh, don't do that, don't tip out the soft plastics. All right, excellent. So what's happened is, okay, we've cut the tail off the, we've cut the tail off the soft plastic. Yeah, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's, the Real Jet Pilot. Thanks for giving up your time to come in and watch, mate. So what we've done, see that there? We've actually cast the tip off the tail. Check that out. Right, so that's going to affect the action of the soft plastic, see? All right, so what we need to do now is we need to change this. So can everybody please excuse me momentarily? I've just got to go and get the secret weapon for soft plastics out of the car, and then I'll be straight back, okay? So just entertain yourselves, which you won't find hard to do, I'm sure, and I'll be back in a second, okay? Okay, now, so basically, if you're going to fish soft plastics, do yourself a favour, go out and buy some Loctite, okay? Loctite fixes absolutely everything, okay? And it's one of your best kept secrets for fishing, okay? Oh, it never made it to space, okay? Right, now, what happened with that? Why is that doing that? That melted, really? Wow, okay. Terrible. Okay, so what we're going to do is we've got a beautiful little 3-inch grub tail here, okay? Check that out. That's a little 3-inch grub tail, okay? That's the jig head that we're going to use it on. So when you use it, steady, steady, work it down to the angle that you want to work it to. Bring it through the back here like that. And what we've got, actually no, that's the wrong size jig head for that. We'll bring that back again. Helps if you use your glasses, Jim. That's the way. There we are. No, that's not it. There we go, that's a bit better. So, then bring that through here like that. Okay, bring that through here. And then what you have is a really nicely presented soft plastic like that, okay? All right. So now what you do is, to make your soft plastic work in the correct manner, just get a little dollop of this super glue, like this Loctite gel, just in here. Give it 10 or 20 seconds to start to cure. Right. Let me show you a magic trick. So watch this. We've just used the Loctite. Okay, we've given it about 10 or 20 seconds to cure. Watch this. Now what we do is push that onto the head like that, right? And that's going to stay in the absolute perfect position for us when we go fishing now, see? And what that does is it stretches out the little soft plastic beautifully, and what happens is that allows water to flow over that ribbed section of the soft plastic, which allows the tail to work properly, people, and that won't come off while you're casting, okay? So that's one trick that we've been doing for a long time in here, okay? Now, the other good thing is just give that a little bit of time to cure there. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a little bit of leader. Here we are. Right now, with leader and that sort of stuff, leader's catch 22. If you lose, okay. So leader is a case of catch 22. If you use too light a leader, you find it hard to land your larger fish, especially if you have one that hit the soft plastic like it did with us the other night, and it's probably still swimming around laughing its head off. And if you use too heavy a leader, right, you won't get as many bites. But with fluorocarbon is built at the same light fraction index as water, right? So that means underwater it's meant to disappear. So I'm just going to get a little section of fluorocarbon in here, put that back on there, okay, like that. Now, what I'm going to try and do, right, is I'm going to leave that one there like that for now, right? That's actually spot on with the soft plastic that we've just done, okay? Put that back in there. Let's grab one of these. That's another one that's broken. They're all broken. I'm actually going to use this big one now. Good, okay. So through there, bring that down through here. I'm actually going to put this right at the back of the soft plastic in here. Right, like that. Beautiful. So once again, we're going to get our little secret here, the old magic trick with the Loctite, and it doesn't affect the scent of the soft plastic. Fish still hit them flat out, right? So, little drop of super glue, or should I say Loctite in there. If you're going to buy an adhesive, just use Loctite, people. It's the best product on the market, always has been, proven for years, right? So we're just going to push that into there, right? That's going to hold onto that head like that. Okay, and voila. So what it looks like, it actually looks like the soft plastic, right, is formed in the head. Look at that. That is a magnificently presented soft plastic, okay? So what I'm going to do is, I'm now just going to try a slightly heavier jig head. Because of the distance, I don't think I'm quite casting out to the middle of the river. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to do a little granny knot like so, right? So there you go. Just a very simple granny knot there, okay? See that there? That's your granny knot there. Okay? Then what we do is, right, we bring that through here like so. Bring that through here like so. Okay? Like that. And then what we do is we just do an improved clinch knot there, like so. Now try and make this loop as small as possible. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now when you're doing loop knots, right, this is the key to loop knots. A lot of people make the mistake right, of trying to tie loop knots, okay, by pulling the monofilament back towards the leader. Don't do that. Pull it towards the lure, and what that will do is that will set the loop knot for you there, okay? Bring that in. Come on, bud. Like so. Beautiful. Now that's a very, very small loop there. I might have to retie that, I think, because I want that to be a little bit bigger. That's actually the tightest one that I've ever done, I think. Right, let me just see if I've got my scissors in here. And my pliers, let's have a look. Once again, the internet's playing up. Of course I use braid, Ben. I've been using braid for, I don't know, the best part of 30 years now, mate. When I was in the tackle trade and first saw braid and saw the benefits of it, I swapped over straight away. A lot of people have ripped me for using braid on beaches and that sort of stuff, you know, but I've caught significantly more fish using braid than not using braid, Ben. So, you know, it's just a lot of people are afraid of change, mate. Okay, so what we've done there is we've set the loop towards the head of the jig head there, see? Yeah, the main reason for that, Fort Sniper, is that it's got no stretch and it repels water, whereas monofilament tends to absorb water to a certain extent, and then the breaking strain of the monofilament apparently goes down by that. I don't know whether there's any merit to that, that's just what I've been told. Right, chuck that in there now. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we'll just use just an improved clinch knot. With your braid fish, with using braid has no stretch, so you can cast a lot lighter weights. And when you're casting those lighter weights, you can also have better bite detection. Hey there, Kelvin, welcome to the stream, bud. Mate, don't know really, I'm hoping for a mulloway. We had a good hit before. On a blade lure of all things, Kelvin, it fell over, you know, and it let go, so I don't even think it knew what I was doing. Right, now, what I've done, that's probably a better sized soft plastic. So what I've done is I put a heavier sized jig head on here, right? Let's see if we can get a bit more distance. Oh yeah. Now we're in the zone, people. Now we're in the zone, let's go. That's better. Once again, soft plastic, slow it right down, right? I mean, we don't know whether we're going to catch anything, people. You never do when you go fishing. Rightio. Let me just double check this. Right. Nice long cast, people. We're right out in the middle of the river here, but what I'm gaining in distance, I'm forsaking in action. Okay, so that's always the trade-off, you know. Never be afraid to fail when you're fishing, people. Never ever be afraid to fail. Right, you'll fail 100 times before you succeed, but you remember your successes, you know what I mean? So, you know, if you've got a technique that you want to try, right, that you don't know of anyone using before, just do it. It's not a competition. You're not going to win a prize or anything. You're just going to catch a fish, you know. Right now, okay, so the moon is starting to rise higher in the sky, so we've got more silhouette to work with, okay? That's a good cast. That is right on the spot here. Okay. That is a good cast. Same old story with fishing, people. The fish of a lifetime could be your next cast. Well, it always is your next cast, you know what I mean? So, unless you've caught it first on the previous cast, you know what I mean? Righty, I'm just going to cast a little bit more towards the shore here. Just going to do a bit of point and shoot. Nice. There we go. Oh, is it Kelvin? Yeah. That's getting some beautiful airtime. Oh. Yeah, we've had some very strange weather down here, Kelvin, haven't we, bud? All right, this water still doesn't look salty. It still looks fairly fresh, but it is starting to clear up, people. Oh, good cast. Very happy with that cast. It's probably one of the best casts we've done all night. Good cast there. Thanks to the 13 people that are watching. Like I said, this internet's terrible. I don't know what's wrong with this encoder. Hang on a second, let me just try something here. Getting some very good air time with this lure. So these soft plastics, so. Yeah, it's always a nice night for fishing, Ben. You know, so. It's calmed down a lot. I didn't think it would calm down like this, mate. The forecast didn't forecast this. It forecast strong southwesterly. Did you hear that popping sound? When you're fishing, and if you hear something getting taken off the surface, right? If you hear something like this, right, like that, that's usually a whiting, like a click. If you hear something like a kiss on the surface, it's usually a brim, okay? And if mulloway are smashing fish, it sounds like this, right? So I think I just heard something hitting fish down there. So what we're gonna do is, we're just gonna cast a little bit more to our right, because I think this tide's finally come in now. So, that's a very good cast. Oh, that's a lovely cast. When you're casting around structure, always try and, you know, allow for wind. So for example, this tree that's on my right hand side, I've got a wind blowing over my right hand shoulder, okay? So with that, it's going to blow my braid away from the tree. But if I had a howling wind towards the tree, don't cast so close to the tree, cast in here, because your braid's going to blow across towards the tree with the wind, okay? I think we'll have 5 more casts, people, then we'll call it a night, eh? The jig head that I'm using is quite heavy, so it might be a bit heavy for what we're doing, but that's okay. No, that's still going up right, that's pretty good. All right, 5 more casts, let's see how we go. So we're gonna do one straight out here. Nice, that just landed then. Getting some beautiful airtime with this rod and reel combination. The other thing is too, don't get sucked into spending thousands of dollars on fishing tackle, people. You know, a lot of people change their fishing tackle every year. You can't get accustomed to your rods and reels. It's like people that go hunting. You've got the old guy with the 22 that can shoot the fur off a bee's bum, and then you've got the young guy with the high-powered stuff that just blasts everything, you know. There we go. Casso, how are you, mate? Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, brother Casso. Right? I sent you a message and you didn't reply, little bugger. You've had me worried, mate. I've been worried about what you're up to. All right? I thought you might have joined the Foreign Legion or something. How are you, Cass? Oh, come on. Okay, we had a hit, people. That's our first hit of the night. What's the time? Yep, called it. Okay, just hang on a second. I'm going to just drop the rod tip and walk towards my soft plastic. That was a proper hit. Okay. Going to give it time to have a look at it. I'm going to step back. I think it grabbed the tail. Yep, that did get hit. See how it pulled the tail off the soft plastic, people? All right, excellent. Casso. Yeah, that's what you need to do, Fort Sniper. Just use your gear, okay? Casso, how are you, bud? Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, mate. You need to come out to Australia so I can find your wife, Casso. All right, you need to join the club with the rest of us. You've got to grow up sooner or later. I kept telling you that. All right, people. So, I'm hoping on this cast we're going to hook a fish. I'm going to cast it in the same spot, point and shoot. Oh, come on. Just grab the tail. I'm going to slow it down, right down, okay? Right, that's got the line off the bottom. So now the lure's facing the correct way. Beautiful. Okay, so we have tension. Nice. There we go. Slow it down. Going to try a different technique now. We used to do this one in Perth under the Narrows. My favourite time to fish for mulloway is about 2 AM, people, whether it's the beach or the river. Casso, I'm a bit burnt out, mate. I had Christmas Day off. This is my first couple of hours off since about November, really. So and Christmas. I had the luxury of a nap on Christmas Day, and then you know, it's one of those things, isn't it, mate? How was your Christmas and New Year, Casso? Did you catch up with the family? And I hope you've sorted out your little headache that you had that we spoke about last time, brother Cass. Plenty of airtime on that cast, people. Mark Davies, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. Thanks to everyone that's tuned in. Please don't forget to leave a like on the stream. You'll see the thumbs up button there. Just click on that. It just lets YouTube know that we're doing good things, okay? And people, if you ever have a little bit of spare time, I'd really appreciate it if you are actually... Oh, yeah, I remember, mate. I didn't want to say anything, mate. You know, we're not on the other platform. I'd appreciate it if you just took a bit of time out just to check out a few VODs. Any constructive criticism would be greatly appreciated, okay? Oh, that was a hit. Oh, that was a hit. Oh, that was a hit, people. I dropped the... That's all right. We might be having a few more casts. That was a hit. One of the main reasons I still come down here is, do you remember that stream we did at night where we hooked that big fish? When I got a glimpse of it in the light, honestly, it was like this and this deep. It would have been easily a 50-pound fish, you know. I'm just still sick to the stomach we dropped it. Remember what I said to you, Casso? You can't go wrong with bricks and mortar, mate, because when everything else falls apart, you've still got, you know, a roof over your head, mate. And with that other thing we were talking about, you know, you got no control over it once you hand it over, mate. It was just, yeah. That's a good cast. All right, we've probably got 2 more casts left tonight. Mosquitoes are friendly. Okay. Now that's interesting. We've had a fish chased into the shallows. That hasn't happened up until now, so we need to stick around for a minute. Right. Always just as you're leaving, they fire up. That's exactly right, Cass. Yeah, that's the main thing, isn't it? Okay. Thank you very much to the 15 people who are in here, you know. We've got a heap of content coming up, people, and I may have a surprise trip to the East Coast coming up. More about that later. Okay. Nicely done. Fishing's great fun, people. It's just fantastic. It's the one thing that I've always enjoyed doing. Oh, there's a couple of others, but we won't go into that. But yeah, love it. Right, 2 more casts downstream. and then we'll probably call it a night, I think. This is a stiffer rod than the other one I've got. This is designed to cast slightly heavier weights a long distance. This will be really good out of the kayak, out in the ocean. Right, our last cast is going to be directly up here, people, so just give me a second. 10 pound, Kelvin. What do you mean by that, Fort Sniper? Rightio, last cast. Oh, nice one, Fort Sniper. Half your luck, mate. You don't know how lucky you are in Queensland, mate. We have nothing like that down here. Right, yeah. All right, one more. There's always one last cast. Yeah, if I head to Queensland's Fort Sniper, I'm probably going to go to Fraser, I think. I went out there about 3 years ago. No, probably 2 years ago. No, 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. Beautiful, beautiful place to fish. Quite looking forward to just pulling up on Fraser Island on my own. Bit of live streaming, showing everyone a few things, you know, so all good fun. One more. God, I'm a glutton for punishment. Righto. We had a couple of good bites tonight. We had the tail pulled off the soft plastic once. That's how it goes, I guess. All right, well, that's our night. Yeah, you got to be careful there, Fort Sniper, mate. Crocodiles are a bit of a non-negotiable, mate. They can't speak English and they won't listen to you. So, all right, people. Look, thank you very much. And Kelvin, I'm in Bunbury as well, bud. So we're probably neighbours, mate, you know. Look, people, thank you very, very much for tuning in. No fish tonight, but hey, that's fishing. And remember, on here, with our channel and our community, we're a channel that focuses on community, content, and ethics, okay? And we're not afraid to fail. I mean, God, I'll fail 1,000 times and not worry about it, because that's how you learn and that's how you try different things out. Never be afraid to try different techniques. Never be afraid to try different things, okay? So stay safe and stay well. Be the best person you can be every day. Thank you very much for giving up your time to watch. Hopefully next time we'll get a fish. Bye for now. Look forward to our offshore kayak fishing streams. They're not that far away, okay? Bye, crew. Yeah, this is still fairly dirty water. If it was salt, it should be clear, see? See how dirty and mucky it is? Don't even think the tide's really in now, people. All right, bye for now.